Alright, shalom, 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 shalom. Want to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto our power, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to our elders, our apostles, our great millstone, which are the men that rule well and taught us His truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations as always, man, be to the elect, man. And Lord's will, the title will be, it will not tarry. Given the recent events, man, that's going on in the world, man. You got Iran bombing the piss out of Israel. You know, America answered back with some, bombing some of, their territory and things of that nature. And now, in the news, all right, for now, I'm going to say, I don't want to say allegedly, but I'm going to use the word allegedly for now, just because we don't know how true certain things are as far as, them closing up the Strait of Hormuz. I believe that's how you say it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I could actually find that. I think I have the article. I had it somewhere. Yeah, I'll find it here. Yeah, Iran, real quick. Iran has just ordered the closure of Strait of Hormuz, putting Salakia, Satan, man, knocking my phone down again. I'm doing this video in my car, so Salakia, if you hear my phone drop. It says Iran has ordered the closure of Strait of Hormuz, putting 1/5 of world's oil supply at risk. Right. So the truth is, though, with that news alone, it's gonna cause prices to go up. Just the scare of it alone. That's why I said allegedly, because even if they do it or not, it's gonna cause, whether they are doing it or not, it's gonna cause a spike in prices of gas. It's gonna raise the price of each barrel. And when you do the math on the prices of a barrel, it'll pretty much raise your. And I don't know where brothers live. I know here in the DMV area, gas is pretty. It's not that bad. It ain't California, but gas is pretty much up there. It's like $4 something for premium, and regular is like $3 something, close to $4. So it'll cause those prices to go up to $7, $8, maybe even $10 a gallon. So hey, it will not tarry. All right, that's really what's inspiring this kind of like this pre-lesson, because really I want to go into the Strait of. I want to read the article on the Strait of Hormuz and bring out more precepts, because really that's end time stuff, man. We're in the end. If you're in disbelief that we're in end times, hey man, just take a look outside. But it will not tarry. Now, what am I referring to when I say that? I'm referring to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and that's where I'm gonna begin, man. All right. I'm going to start Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Now I'm going to read that whole thing again in the NLT, all right, and break it down. Because when you go into that word vision in Habakkuk 2, all right, and I always say this when I bring out Habakkuk 2, because it's very important to know what that vision is. It's very important to know what that vision is talking about, because when you go into the vision, all right, you can encompass all the prophecies, because that's what that's talking about. The Hebrew word there is chazon, which means prophecy, divine oracle, which the prophecies are divine oracles, meaning divine spoken words from the Heavenly Father, aka prophecy, which is what makes or breaks somebody if they're a prophet or not. All right, we're able to prophesy. Okay, this going on right now is a part of prophecy. All right, prices going up for oil and all different types of goods is a part of prophecy. These different things, man. The economy's changing, because right now we're a lot of people right now are like, oh, World War III right now is going to happen overnight. And it's like, no, for you Israelites out there that aren't privy, for World War III to happen, the MOTB has to come into play, because that's according to prophecy. All right, because what does World War III bring? The missiles. And what's the missiles? What are the missiles going to bring? Lake of fire, the judgment for taking the MOTB. So the MOTB, that's the thing. The MOTB is not made mandatory yet. It's not law yet. So we're waiting really for that first. All right, we're waiting for the MOTB to be made mandatory. All right, then we could talk about, okay, things are heating up, because in reality, once the MOTB is implemented, you ain't gonna, turn your TV on. All right, Russia, Iran, all these places are about to attack Israel and about to attack them. You're not gonna wake up and turn your TV on to see that stuff. We're not gonna live in a livable America. All right, by the time the missiles are about to hit, America is gonna be in utter decimation. Civil wars brewing up. Lord's will, I'll make a lesson on that. I gathered up quite a few precepts on those topics as well, because just going to camp, the inspiration, I always get inspired whenever I drive my drive to camp, my commute to camp, because I get to feel the pulse of Babylon, because here in Washington D.C. is a real big melting pot, and you get the real vibe off of all type. You meet all type of Edomites. You meet the conservative Edomites, the non-conservative. You know what I'm saying? You meet all these different types of people. But I'm gonna go into Habakkuk 2 again in the NLT, and it says, Then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets, so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. And that's what we're doing, carrying the correct message. That's what this is all about, being able to carry the correct message. You have this dude, Chief Ephraim, asking the $1 million question, all right, in the sense that he said, well, who's going to implement the mark? Who's going to make the chip mandatory if these nations don't agree? And it's like, well, if you would have read the scriptures, it tells you the beast, NATO, EU. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You got to know who runs this shit. Because a lot of people are like, oh, we're not going to go to war. Russia doesn't want to go to war. It doesn't matter what Russia wants. The Lord wants it. The Lord said that he would gather the nations. All right, he would bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat. The scriptures say that Yahushua is going to come back with great power. These prophecies have to happen. It doesn't matter what your opinions are. The Lord said that the MOTB would be made mandatory. So it's going to happen. These guys are foolish, man. They don't understand. That's the thing. That's how you know these men are not prophets, because clearly they're not the ones running with the correct message to others. But we are. It says, this vision is for a future time, right? That vision is the prophecies of the Heavenly Father, aka war between all the worlds. All right, when I say all the worlds, I'm talking about these different cosmos. Iran is a cosmos. It's their own orderly arrangement. Israel, the land of Israel, right now, the Amalekites live in there. They're their own orderly arrangement, all right, and they're ready to drag everybody down with them. That's why the scriptures say that the least of the flock shall draw them out. They're the least of the flock. All right, they're just an extension of the British bit. They're gonna drag everybody into this third world war. All right, because they're demons, man. But I don't want to get into too deep into what they're doing right now. But the point is that this vision is for a future time. It says it describes the. All right, and it says Salaki got cut for a second. It says it describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. All right, the prophecies of the Lord will be fulfilled, man, 100%. All right, the scriptures say that his word will not return unto him void. All right, and it will accomplish that that is meant to accomplish. Roughly paraphrasing to that in Isaiah, it says, "If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, aka it will not tarry." And right now, more than ever, do we see things popping off, man? Moves is being made. All right, we're in the perfect setup for Isaiah 19 being in full-on effect, with the Egyptian against the Egyptian in full-on effect. All right, soon full-on effect, 2nd Esdras the 15th chapter, 2nd Esdras the 16th chapter. And you got to go read these things that I'm quoting, man. These precepts these chapters that I'm talking about, because that's the season that we're heading into. Full-fledged Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah the 30th chapter. You know what I'm saying? All these different end-time prophecy scriptures, you got to read them, man, because that's what we're heading into right now. Because right now everything is livable. You can still, hey, I'm at the plantation right now. You can get up, go to work, make your money. You know what I'm saying? You can still put gas in your car. You can still go get something to eat. At some point in time, ain't gonna be no more of that. Ain't gonna be no waking up, going to work anymore, man. Your daily life will be disrupted by prophecy. It says, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, right? It will not tarry. All right. Look, just a week ago, Iran bombed Israel. All right. And now look, now they're talking about closing up the Strait of Hormuz, affecting a 1/5 of the population of the oil's population, meaning that price is going to skyrocket just off that article alone, man. Just off of the scare, just off of the rumor of it happening alone is going to cause a spike in the prices. Okay? Verse 4, look at the proud. They trust in themselves and their lives are crooked, but the righteous will live by their faithfulness to the Most High, right? AKA, all right, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, meaning that's talking about Esau, man. Esau ain't right. So you best believe, Amalek and the American Edomite, these other Edomites, they finna move, man. That's the thing. They're moving to the beat of the Lord. They're not moving to their own rhythm. People talking about, oh, Trump isn't going to go to war. Trump isn't going to do this. Trump isn't going to... It doesn't matter what you want Trump to do or what you think Trump is going to do. At the end of the day, prophecy is what's going to happen. Salakia. All right? Prophecy is what's going to happen, man. Which the prophecies speak of war, not of peace, man. All right? We are not in the season of peace. All right, Jake? This is not time to go to Dubai and Abu Dhabi and chill. This is not that time, man. All right? Us chilling in paradise will be in the kingdom. Right now, it's time for war. We are at war, man. Us prophets, we're in the spiritual warfare. The rest of you zealots are in that carnal warfare. Y'all just set up to die. All right? And for the rest of y'all believers, man, we're in the spiritual battle, man. The Heavenly Father is going to be with us. Go read 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. All right? Towards the ending. All right? The Heavenly Father will be with us. The scriptures say that, man. He said, make you ready to the battle. All right? He said he will be our guide. And the guide of those that keep his commandments, his precepts. All right? So this is Luke 21:8. And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushai, or I am anointed. Mashiach, really, right? And the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them, meaning those false anointeds. There's going to be people claiming to be that deliverer, literally, and people who are proclaiming to be prophets and anointed ones, but they're leading you the wrong way. All right, the most recent one in the news is this dude Chief Ephraim, the dude with fringes on his do-rag. This fool, coming up out the woodwork. Really, he's a straight up agent, man. He as somebody, I don't want to say too much about myself, but I'll say that guy gives Fed vibes, man. He gives police officer vibes. He gives cop vibes, and he's definitely a weirdo, man. He's just popping up, at the wrong times, and just doing. He's a zealot, man. That's all he is. He's just a carnal nigga. All right, he's a false anointed, because he's out here casting doubt. One moment he says, of course, don't take the MOTB. It's common sense. And in the other sense, he's like, I don't think the MOTB is the chip, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? Those are false anointeds. Don't go after them. He ain't gonna talk to you about the Strait of Hormuz. He ain't gonna talk to you about that, man. Have they even spoken about what Iran did to Israel? Are they even talking about that? Do they even know how to break that down through the scriptures? I bet they don't. Verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. Right? This is war and commotion. So this is comforting. Don't be terrified. We're supposed to hear this. That's the thing. Carnally speaking, right? When you first hear it, you kind of get those flutters and you get a little bit of fear because you're in the flesh and you're like, oh man, how is this going to affect me and my family? But at the end of it, we should really be rejoicing because it's like, yo, we're one step closer to the kingdom of heaven and no longer being in this captivity. And it's beautiful, man. There's beauty within this, because really you get that anxiety of, oh man, what's next? But it's a beautiful thing because you know deep within yourself, like, hey man, I've been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Lord's will, I get delivered. You know what I'm saying? That should be your mindset each and every single day that you hear about these prophecies coming to pass. Okay? It says, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Right? Meaning that we're still not quite there yet, but it's right around the corner. Because this is of war. This is wars and commotions. Iran making that move. If Iran really does that, you will feel it in your pockets. You will. It's coming to a city near you, especially here in Babylon. All right. It says, Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Iran bombing the shit out of Israel. All right. America answering back. Them closing the Strait of Hormuz. That is war against. That is nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That's the time frame that we are in. The Heavenly Father is gathering the troops, man. He's making things happen. Next, we should look out for economic woes. One of the brothers, man, the bro Tazaponya here in the DC church, shalom to you, if you're listening, man. You know, he mentioned it the second we was talking about, Iran bombed Israel in retaliation, right? Hey, he said, hey, the economic woes coming next. That's very true, man, through the spirit, man. The economic woes have to come, because right now it's too livable for anything to really go down in America. Everybody still pretty much has something to lose right now. So there ain't, we ain't gonna see rioting just yet. You're gonna see a few fake ass protests. You got the fake ICE protests going on. I call it fake because, they're not really rioting. Those are the provocateurs, and even they weren't able to really cause a big ruckus, But point is though that what's it called? The economic woes have to come. Once everyone has nothing to lose, that's when they're gonna lose it. People right now, people still got 6-figure jobs. People still becoming millionaires. People still are starting small businesses right now. So nobody's really trying to go out to the streets and fight. It's not until the average person can't go get a loaf of bread or a carton of eggs or fill up their gas tank when things are really gonna get rough out here. Because that's the thing, man. It's not far-fetched, to look at these third world countries and think that it can't come to your hometown. Oh, yes, it can. People do in America. People rob for less. All right, I'm gonna say that straight up, man. A lot of people are sheltered, but when you realize, especially if you lived in low-income neighborhoods, people do the most for less. Even when things are livable, people get desperate. When true desperation is going on in America, financial woes, you will see the people turn into savages. And this is the number one place for it, man. Everybody got a gun in America. Everybody got a sword in America. So I'm going to keep reading. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Shoot, coming up out the house right now, man. I saw the moon, man. It gave off that orange reddish tint. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that we looking out for, man. All these different blood moons happening. It ain't for no reason, man. Those are signs for us to know. All right? Because it's more than ever before, man. These are, blood moons every month. All right? But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you. Ooh, yeah, I meant to also touch on this too, which I'm about to end it with this one, though. I don't got any other precepts. Like I said, this is kind of like a pre-lesson before the other ones that I want to do and kind of dive deeper into all the topics that I touched on, Lord's will, through the Spirit. But, yeah, man, the persecution on the prophets, the persecution on the Israelites, we haven't even gotten there yet. So, for you Israelites that are talking about, World War III is going to happen tomorrow, it's like, whoa, calm down now, because we haven't even gone through the persecution yet. Oh shit, dropped my phone. We haven't gone through the persecution as Israelites yet, true persecution. And what's it called, the MOTB is still not implemented mandatory. We have to go through that first, man. All right, it says, and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Right, that has to come too, man. We're waiting on that as well, through the Spirit, man. All right, those are the different prophecies that have to come to pass. All right, but hey, that's all I wanted to bring out through the Spirit, man. Hey, the vision is not tarrying. There is no slowing down, man. These prophecies are speeding up. Every day is something new. So keep your eyes open, stay in the Spirit. All right, be sober, be vigilant, man. All right, do what you got to do. Hey, that's all I wanted to bring out. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakadash. Double honors to my elders, my apostles, great millstone, which are the men that rule well, men that taught us this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations as always be to the elect man. Shalom.